Yo, what is good, guys? Welcome back to today's video. It's October 15th. This is a re-recording of today. We did take a loss earlier today. As you can see right here on the chart, I'll be marking it back up for you guys to see. I was pretty frustrated because I thought I was just wicked out, and I had, like, maybe there's a reason or no reason for the wick out, and it was just unfortunate. And it was frustrating because obviously this winning trade could have passed both my Eval accounts. So I spent the day at work pretty moody. I need to be able to let go of emotions a bit better. But upon, like, going through the day, thinking about everything, there's actually a reason why I lost, which actually makes me feel a lot better because it's something that's in my control. So I'll kind of go over it. Let's kind of mark up our video or our structure. Overall, we are still bullish. Wait, today's 15. Okay, we were like in this area. 15th, 8 a.m. Okay, so we pretty much just had like an internal break right here. We're still very much bullish, no breaks to the downside, so we'll just put that as that higher time frame break. Here is our 4-hour order block, and this is 15th, 4 a.m. so this would have been 4-hour liquidity as well. Pretty sure. Yeah. So we were pretty much working off a 1-hour order block, which was this one, which was still valid because it never broke down. It would have to break this low to be invalidated because order blocks wick transfer. This was the 1-hour break right here. Just go like that. Okay, where were we? So, in my opinion, I don't think there was a fractal that was eligible for us to take like an early liquidity entry. Let's just kind of look over it. This is too late. Yeah, no fractals in my opinion. So really, which I like when price has tapped into a higher time frame confluence and we start seeing breaks. That's my favorite type of setup. So here's our first break, which means liquidity is here at the swing, more liquidity right here at the higher low. Price breaks to the upside one more time, so we now have 2 breaks, which means to invalidate this setup, it would have to break below the swing down here. If it has 2 or more pullbacks, then we should just wait for the liquidity to be grabbed from the swing as well. Now overall, we only had 1 break and it grabbed liquidity from this higher low right here. So that means my PA level was right here. So everything is pretty straightforward for now. I mean, it was a really straightforward setup. I forgot one simple rule, which is my stop loss. So it was a 1-minute EMA entry. I think 740 is where we got in. 740, so right here. This candle here. Now, as you can see, to follow our stop loss rules, 70 ticks is max, and it still has to cover the structure, right? So this one is really like, you really have to be disciplined. What I ended up doing was I went with 65 because it covers most of the structure, which again, as you can see, I paid the price for it. Now sometimes it does work, right? But in the long term, and for the longevity of this career per se, I have to stick to the rules. So if I want price to cover the structure, it has to be at least 72, which means that if it's more than 70, what I have 2 options now. I can either let go of the trade or wait for a better price action level. Now, if you really want to be a stickler, let's say you go with 70. My entry was 4209.5, right? So 4209.5. So like right, let's bring it down. Actually, I can do this. 42, perfect. So that was my entry. So, right? Hold on. Entry 402.5, yeah. So as you can see, 70 ticks does not cover the stop loss, even though it's like super duper close, right? And I think that's something that, like, I probably would have considered this valid, and I still, in my head, would think that it's, you know, somewhat valid. I've done it for the past trades, but today is a learning lesson as to be very disciplined. So next time, obviously, so 70 ticks doesn't cover it. So to cover it, I would have to do at least 71, 72, 73, up to 75, right? That is too much. So well, that means I have to either let go of the trade or wait for a better price action level. If I had remembered that and waited for a better price action level, it would have been this level here. 1 minute EMA is still valid. What am I looking at? Here it is. We would have been tapped in 750. I would have done 40. Been very close to being stopped out. 1 to 2 achieved. To be fair, I might have even done 45. 1 to 2 still achieved. But yeah, because again, my 70 tick stop loss does not cover the structure, I let go or I wait for a better price action level. Obviously, I would have waited for a better price action level because it presented itself. If it took off, then it took off. Now, going back to how close this was to 70. Like that. 70. What was I gonna say? Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Damn, I can't remember. No, and I'm on video, so I feel like I'm under pressure. 70 ticks. Fuck it, whatever. So yeah, should have waited. Should have realized that, you know, stop loss didn't make sense. Oh, right. I remember now. So next time, even when I do see a 70 tick stop loss, like I'll make a decision whether to use it or not. It really depends, because like if it covers like very slightly, just like today's case, I probably won't go for it. But if it definitely covers the stop loss or the structure, then I'll go for it, right? Like if it's clearly covering it, like let's just say like my entry was here and I did 70. Oh, like as you can see, it covers the structure, right? Like this would have been fine. If I gotten stopped out, then that's valid. Even I would have been sweating here. But yeah, so the other thing is at work, I'm gonna make a mind map or a flow chart, diagram tree, whatever you want to call it, and I'm gonna try and make it I have it right here, right? But I want to turn this into like a digital version so that like every morning I have it up on my screen and I can check things off, and I want it to be interactive because like if price shows me one thing, then I do this, right? And I check that off and it opens up like another area for me to check off things. So that's something I'm going to be working on over the weekend. So yeah, hopefully, again, my goal is to pass these evals before the end of October. I'm not going to try and put pressure on this week or next week, just the end of October. I don't want to repay the subscription. But the all end being is like, I think I've spent a year with this strategy and I've seen a lot of success with it. So it's only been a year and I've made the most progress like in my trading career. Like when I was trading SMC, I couldn't figure it out for like 2 years. So like I won't beat myself up too bad if I'm not exactly where I wanted to be, like funded, consistently payouts, because I've only spent a year with this strategy, and honestly, like I feel very, you know, this close. I just have to master the small things, and I think that mind map will help me. So yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll see you guys then.